I have a confession to make. It was a final weekend of my coach training. There I was, sitting on a conference room chair in a circle, number 12 of 25, doing a fishbowl coaching exercise. And the closer it was to my turn, my heart was racing and pounding in my chest. My throat was constricted. My mouth was drier and drier by the moment, filling with cotton balls. All the while, the pressure in my head was growing from a simple question. What was I going to ask? I noticed that some of my coaching colleagues were asking questions that seemed to elicit a really engaged response. And I wanted that for myself. I wanted to get it right. The trouble is when I am wanting to get it right, desperation tends to flood my body. And I go into what I call the impress versus connect mode, which actually disconnects me from you. And my mind goes blank. Have you ever found your mind going blank and your body reacting in different ways because you thought you had to get it right? How did it feel? Or were you even aware? For me, this is a vulnerable confession because I've spent my life educating myself, getting educated to show that I knew. What I've come to realize is this desire to show and prove that I know takes me down a vortex of shame. Because I'm not owning these parts of me that don't always know, don't feel comfortable, want to get it right, but are actually on high alert. And I disintegrate, shrink, and hide because I'm so determined to prove my worth. And so without owning my doubts and uncertainties, it keeps me stuck. So fast forward to more training and learning and the deep dive inward. My intellectual training has actually morphed into a more embodied internal training to learn about what goes on in here. I've had the how to do it, how to say it training for decades. And what was really missing was my quality of presence. That is my ability to be fully present. And when we can be fully present, it expands our connection. And I have a connection with my body and my mind without being prisoner to it. And this is fundamental. As a coach, my ability to be present, to really connect with my clients is what matters. And the reality is, Many of us have deep conditioning and programming that keeps us wanting to show or prove our worth because, heck, it hasn't really been that long in the whole scheme of humanity that women or people of color were considered persons. And we've been taught to be obedient, to follow and not think on our own. So our ability to speak up has actually been suppressed. And of course, this isn't for everyone. There are many people who've had that courage, the ability. And I think of advocates and the suffragettes fighting for the vote. I often say vote. It's like the vote and the voice, the vote for our voice to contribute in a meaningful way. And in my family, I used to chuckle when my aunts would say, Caley's are always right. When I began the internal journey, I recognized how when somebody is right, it actually sends a message that you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. And for me, I developed this high sensitivity to the energy around me and really shutting down when it didn't feel safe in my body, and I would hold back. And what I've really come to realize is it's okay for me to have those feelings, those sensations, but to come back to presence. When I get out of my body and away from the here and now, I call it presence derailment. And it can go a little like this. I could be in a coaching session and my client is sharing a situation that sounds vaguely or very familiar, where it doesn't sound like they're taking responsibility. In fact, they're venting and blaming others. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, here we go again. And then what am I not doing to help this person move forward, to get it, to see it? And the reality is I'm not actually listening, and I'm missing the nuances of hearing the client pause and say, oh, I'm judging, or, oh, maybe it could be another way. So I'm not present in a way that can truly help them to flourish and to really be a full support. And yeah, it becomes more about me than about them. And sometimes I think that as coaches, we're the light. I am the presence of light. And I think of it as a lotus flower, where the lotus is buried deep in the mud and it grows and grows towards the light. And these characteristics are perfect for the human experience. And when our clients are stuck, we're the light, and our quality of presence assists with the insight and clarity that is part of their growth into the light. The same analogy can be used when I think about what's possible for us as coaches. If we think of ourselves as the lotus flower, there's an expectation for growth, just as there is in the coaching credentialing. The thing is, the expectation for growth, to be nourished, to stretch, to connect, requires the right conditions. And that, I believe, is our quality of presence, to be here now. And the only moment is now. So just for fun, where are you right now? Are you present? Or are you planning dinner? Or are you focused on an itch or a pain somewhere? Or an activity? What are you going to do after this? There's no wrong answer. The key is awareness. And when you are aware or become aware, awaken to where you're at right now, just notice. Invite your shoulders to soften. Breathe. And choose again. I'm here now. You might notice your feet on the floor as an anchor. And I believe when we can bring this kind of presence and attention for ourselves, we're bringing a quality of love that's unconditional, no judgment, and this is felt by our clients. So, awareness is absolutely fundamental, and our voice matters. I believe that our voice actually embodies our whole experience in this moment. And the reality is our bodies can only be in the moment now. So what derails you? That's part of awareness. What blocks you from embracing your quality of presence? Is it that anxious feeling of, I've got to get this right? Is it, I've got to show that I know? Or is it something deeper or bigger? How do you know when you're trusting yourself? When you're in alignment with who you truly are? And one of the greatest compliments a coaching client gave me was fairly simple when I think about it, but it meant so much. He said, one of the things I really, really appreciate about you, Mo, is you are so real. I went, hallelujah. That was just such a gift, because with that, I knew I was relaxing enough to and trusting enough to be here now in the moment. So when we're coaching, fully present, it's not about saying what we think we need to be saying. It's about really connecting here and now and being here. It's about being uncomfortable or comfortable in sharing some ideas for your client, some different possibilities, perhaps sharing stories that will help the other connect. Because when we're in alignment and comfortable and trusting in who we are, we're conscious. And our clients benefit from a more transparent and authentic or organic in the moment connection. And we speak up with intent, with integrity, and with influence, because we're in alignment. And our capacity grows, and what clients come to us with also expands. There's this expansion process, and the quality of presence is the foundation for all of your relationships. So remember that your voice matters, and your voice is your full presence. Whether you're choosing to speak up or to be silent or still, you are consciously choosing and fully present. This is different than holding back. Your quality of presence is a silent communication that is often felt more than heard, and it allows you to develop a deeper trust in yourself, allowing organic expression. And remember that the only moment is now, and your body only exists in the now. Yeah, your body only exists in the now. So I believe in you. I believe you have the capacity to know, connect, and welcome your quality of presence, your fullness of presence, without pressure or judgment, with kindness and unconditional love. Unconditional love. And remember, you are making perhaps the best investment of your life when you pay attention to your quality of presence. Thank you.